Hello! This video will be separated in two parts. First of all, I will talk about what's the difference between the original and the director's cut. Second of all, I will talk about my opinion about the episode, what I thought. So, if you just came for the changes, it's not really much and maybe not worth it, then just stay around for a bit. And if you for some reason also care about my opinion, well then, just stay around a bit longer. 3, 2, 1, let's go! I can't say for the BD version, but the Tokyo TV intro is missing. Why Kadokawa? Why you doing this to me? I can't quite tell what's written there because I am pretty bad at kanji, but it's pretty obvious that the names are placed differently. Maybe even taken out or some new addition. I don't know, I don't care. Next, Subaru asks Satella for a name. She answers, Watashi wa Satella. In this scene, the difference is the length to build tension. Here, the original, Watashi wa Satella. 仮名はないの。サテラとそう呼ぶといいわ。私はサテラ。仮名はないの。サテラとそう呼ぶといいわ。そうか。サテラか。いい名前だ。By the way, you could suggest that something is terribly off and Puck reacts that way when she reveals to be Satella. Disclaimer. The next 6 points aren't found by me. I'll link the author in the description. In this scene, Super and Emilia try to get some information out of the shopkeeper about the mysterious girl whose name we don't know yet. It's Feld. It's Feld. The difference here between the original and the director's cut is that one NPC was walking down the street in the background is gone missing. Actually not the fix from the director's cut, but actually from the BD. And BD is just a short form from bonus edition and it's just another word for Blu-ray. I think. Okay, it's for the red, okay? The next two shots are just several seconds extended version of the original. Number 1 is the overlooking shot of the slums. Roll it. And here the lesser spirit scene. The change here is that they are improving on the realisticness of the coins by letting them get influenced by the environmental light. It doesn't seem out of place anymore. Well, that's good. I suppose. And why the hell is nobody talking about the fact that on the coins is the freaking realistic picture of the dragon volcano? This change is actually also from the BD. In the scene in which Subaru is reflected in Emilia's eyes, the NPCs were removed from the DC. Ain't I really cool? Using short forms, I'm so cool. The last thing are the rolling credits at the end. I actually figured it out myself. Yeah, because it wasn't hard at all to find out. But I didn't give any attention to the sound design. So you didn't figure it out yourself. Let's just move on. I won't pronounce it and I won't even try. Gets featured with a full version at the end of the DC version. Alright, that's about all I could gather. Starting part 2 of the video. In the first scene we see Subaru buying some snacks in Ministop. His character gets established right from the start without any words. He is lonely and needs, so somebody without job or education. And he is an otaku, which is basically a requirement for being isekai. Nobody's outside. It's nighttime. His environment is dark and sinister, probably reflecting how he sees the real world. Then the horror kicks off and peaks and gives a short glimpse of the mood of the show. All that atmosphere which was built up till now got broken up instantly when Subaru got isekai to Lubnica. That contrast between dark real world and bright fantasy world makes it much more easier to understand Subaru's euphoria. The next scene I didn't really love, but it's really nostalgic for me. Felt running on rooftops. This is literally rooftop run from Sonic Unleashed or Sonic Generations, I don't care. I'm a Sonic fan, don't judge me. Now comes the part I love the most. And with this part I want to explain why Subaru lost Emilia. Subaru is getting crushed by Lugnica or the Isekai world. Even in his wildest dreams he can't be happy. Now Subaru is filled with anger and disappointment. He expected something completely different. He expected to be the main character, but he isn't treated that way. He has no powers, he is weak. And he doesn't want to accept that, at least yet. Then Subaru gets attacked by Tonjin and Ken. He gets hyped up and wants to test his abilities. But then he gets desperate because he has to accept that he is not strong enough to fight against simple weapons as knives. The result, Subaru feels even more worthless than before. The reason for that is, till now nobody was nice to him. This goes so extreme to the point he got beaten up. This is by the way also great world building because difficulty also corresponds with realisticness. Then, when Subaru is at his lowest and his dreams are crushed, Emilia pops up. Subaru assumes she'd pass by, just like Phil, because why would anybody care about him at this point? But she decided not to. Even though she had her own motives, the only thing Subaru really cared about was that Emilia was the first person who actually gave him what he expected. Emilia had magic, looked cute and unique, and acted Cinderella-like. Subaru couldn't ask for more, but that's just my opinion, okay? When you want something objective, just watch SENPAI video because he made a pretty good video. Being drunk, okay? This guy makes better videos than me while he's drunk. The next thing I want to talk about is Emilia calling herself Satella, because please stop thinking that that's Satella, because it's obviously not. Just look at Puck's reaction. I mean, later on she even wants to apologize to him after he calls her Satella. Probably to tell him that her name isn't really Satella, it's Emilia. Probably. But, they died. This scene probably has no meaning. Except of Emilia testing Subaru because Emilia has trust issues. Because Subaru is acting pretty suspicious. He helps her without wanting anything in return. Also, this will prove if he lied or not, because if he truly was a foreigner, he'd act like he did. Quoting from SENPAI himself, cause obviously anyone from Lugnica would provide a reaction hearing that name, which is the equivalent of Voldemort. Or here in Germany, Hitler. The last thing I want to talk about is, I have the feeling that Subaru being an otaku is only there to make us relate to the character as soon as possible, because after a while when we already can relate to the character and his actions, the fact that he is aware of isekai and gaming completely falls away because we already are connected to the character. The fact that he is an otaku is only there to make us relate to him. To be honest, I like the fact of him knowing about isekai and gaming to return, because it could really make some situations much more interesting, like his return by death. Return by death is basically a restart button, and only the main character of a game has a restart button. Subaru never questions this, never sees himself as the protagonist. He always just thinks about Alice. I think it's a little bit sad because he's the main character and maybe could drive the story in the direction, but he isn't an interactive character, he is a reactive character. I may make a video about that sometime. Awareness is a really good element for comedy, because just look at Cautious Hero, the goddess of Cautious Hero, Gista. She's aware of the typical isekai cliches, but Saya isn't. Or Kazuma and his party in Konosuba. He knows about the typical isekai tropes, Aqua doesn't, even though she's a goddess. Don't worry, I'm aware of the fact that the gist of Aqua is being useless. I know that. Awareness and unawareness clashing together is really entertaining, and I think ReZero is missing a lot of potential here. But I think that's the only problem I really have. With the comedy, the only problem I have with the comedy, okay? Everything else is perfectly fine. Thank you for watching the video. if you watched till now, don't be angry if I got anything wrong, because I improvised nearly everything. So it's very likely that I got some information wrong. So just correct me in the comments, and I think that should be no problem, because we're all cool, right? Please sub to SENPAI, because he makes actually good videos, and to Ben, he also does. Just subscribe to everybody and down in the description, okay? Cool. Bye. And if you watched this video till now, I'd be very thankful if you just tell me your opinion on the episode. I think it would be very interesting.